Okay, we are going to make our three-dimensional line sculptures. And in order to do it, you're going to need some supplies. You are going to need either 1 or 2 sheets of white paper. If you have black paper to put on the bottom, you can use the black paper. If you don't have black paper, don't worry. You can just use a third white sheet of paper to put your sculpture on. You're also going to need a black marker, either a Sharpie or a regular washable black marker. You can also use colored markers. If you don't have colored markers, you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils. I like doing the colored markers because the colors are much more brighter and it's a lot quicker to put down your lines. You're also going to need scissors and a glue stick to glue your line sculpture on that black paper. Okay, so if we have all of those items, before we get into the lines, the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to take out that first white sheet of black paper and a black marker. And what you're going to do is you are just going to draw a continuous curving organic shaped line around your page, almost like the tip of your marker is like a figure skater skating around an ice rink. So let's start our figure skater out. Just doing one continuous line, kind of going around. You can overlap your lines, that's fine, bringing it around and stop. You should have one continuous line that has kind of curved around your paper to make these different sort of enclosed shapes. And then what we are going to do within each one of those enclosed shapes that our lines have created, we are going to use our markers to draw different types of lines in each enclosed space. Okay, so let's start off with the basic lines that I know that you guys know. Vertical lines, which go straight up and down, horizontal, that go across, diagonal, that are slanted, wavy, that waves up and down, zigzag, and spiral. So let's first start off with vertical. You can pick any colors you want. I like to use 2 different colors to really make my lines be very visible. So I'm going to pick an enclosed space. Let's say I'm going to draw vertical lines in this enclosed space. So I'll pick 2 colors, maybe red and yellow. And starting from the enclosed space, I'm going to start from where that top line is, and I'm just going to bring it down until it hits that black line. Then I'm going to switch colors, make my next vertical line going up and down. Then I'm going to switch back. Notice how I'm starting at the black line and then stopping when it hits another black line. So I'm going to go all the way through, creating vertical lines in that enclosed space, vertical meaning straight up and down. So I'm going to do that really quickly, but staying in that shape and making the same vertical line pattern throughout the entire shape. Okay, notice how I'm not making any curvy lines. I'm staying with the same vertical line filling in that space. Okay, once I have that closed up and I've created all my vertical lines filling that space, I'm going to start thinking about the next line that I'm going to do, where I want it to be, and what colors I'm going to use. So again, I'm going to fill up this space, make sure that it is totally filled. I see a little bit of the enclosed shape in there, so I'm going to fill that up, finish it here, and then just fill it back with this little space, and then I'm almost done. Okay, nice. Once you've filled a space with your vertical lines, you can now think of a different space that you want to do for your horizontal lines. So maybe I'll pick a smaller space, maybe this one. I'll do my horizontal lines. I want to pick different colors than what I've already used. So maybe I'll do orange and green in this space. And horizontal lines, remember, go straight across. So I'll start first with my green, starting from one side, going to the next, trying to keep it straight, making horizontal lines of two different colors, filling in that shape. Okay, and you can take your time trying to make it very straight, not wibble wobbly, whoops. Going straight across in a pattern. Remember, a pattern meaning that it is repeating some sort of order. So this pattern is green horizontal line, orange horizontal line, green horizontal line, orange horizontal line. And then once I kind of have that little enclosed space filled with my horizontal line, I'm going to look to see what's the next one I'm going to make and where am I going to put that. The next one I'm going to make is diagonal lines. So you might want to pick a space kind of further away. How about this space of making your diagonal lines? But remember, you don't have to make the same width of the lines. You can choose to make them either thick or thin. So I'm going to make really thick diagonal lines of two different colors in this space. So maybe I'll just do blue and white. Because it's going to be a thick line, I can draw a diagonal line, but then fill it in with how thick I want it to be. And then skip the space for how thick I want it to be, make another diagonal line going the same direction, and another one of how thick I want it to be, and fill that in. They're still technically big, thick diagonal lines. I'm going to skip the space, draw that diagonal line, and then fill in the rest so that I have these big, thick blue and white diagonal lines filling up that space. The next line that I want to do is wavy lines. So I'll try to pick another place. Let's do this really big one of wavy. I'm going to pick two different colors. I notice I haven't used purple yet, so I definitely want to use purple. And if I used green way over here, maybe I'll use green with the purple in this location to kind of balance it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make wavy lines, but you know what? I'm still going to make them kind of thick. So maybe I'll make my wavy purple line here, skip a little space, make a parallel purple wavy line, meaning it's going in the same direction at the same time as the one above it. And then I fill it in to make it thick. Okay. I notice I have a lot of space up here, so actually I'm going to fill in with another purple wavy line, nice, making it nice and thick. I'm going to do one below, going parallel, meaning it's going in the same direction at the same time as the one above. This I'm doing it right underneath to thicken it up, and I'll fill it in to make a thick purple wavy line. And then I'll do another one. Again, going parallel, meaning going in the same direction at the same time and filling it in. And then even in these small little spaces, you can still fit some of your parallel wavy lines. Just these are more curved lines towards the bottom because that's all we can fit. Okay, so now that I have that space filled up with my purple wavy lines, I'm going to fill in those white spaces with my green, because I said I wanted to balance the green out. So I'm going to take that green marker, and this time I can just kind of fill in the space in between the purple lines to make green wavy lines. You don't have to make your lines exactly like mine. If you chose to make them thin, that's fine. If you wanted to make them just normal size, the size of the marker, that's okay. But if you did want to make them thick, I just wanted to show you how to do it a nice and easy way so that they're all parallel, so it doesn't, you don't have your lines overlapping each other. This way you can really see the wavy lines very well if they're going in the same direction at the same time. So now that I've kind of filled in those in-between spaces, I can now look to the next line I'm going to do, zigzag. I love making zigzag lines. So I might look to see, okay, what color didn't I use in this area? You know what, I could probably use just black and white because I haven't used black and white anywhere. So I'm just gonna take my black marker. Where is my black marker? Here we go. This time maybe I wanna make my zigzag lines very thin. So I'm gonna use the very tip of my marker to start making small zigzag lines. And I'm still making them parallel, meaning they're going in the same direction at the same time as the ones right above. And remember, zigzag lines are very pointy. So make sure that your zigzag lines are not like wavy lines, but are very, very pointy. Awesome. Okay, now that I have my zigzag lines, ooh, I love doing spiral lines. If you've never done a spiral line before, it's so fun to make. And actually, maybe I'll do a spiral line here in my black and white. What I want to do, if I'm doing spiral lines, I'm going to start at one end. I'm going to curve my line down, just making a regular curved line, but then looping it back around like that, like I do a loop-de-loop. So again, curving it down and looping it, curving it down, loop, 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 like that. And you can fill that space with all spiral looped lines. Nice, great job. Maybe a little bit in there. Awesome. So we have our spiral lines. Some more lines we can do, curved lines. So maybe in here, I'm gonna do just curved lines. So maybe I'll start here with just one curved line, leaving a space, making a smaller one, leaving a space, doing one above, one above, one above, like that, all curved lines. If you want to fill in the space with a second color, that's up to you. Maybe I'll use orange, since I don't see a lot of orange down there, of my curved lines. Then, once I have my curved lines, let's try a scallop line. A scallop line is really fun. I'm going to do a scallop line here in blue, because I don't see a lot of blue around here. So I'm going to grab a blue marker. Now scallop line is like this. You start from one end, you make a normal curved line, you stop, and then the same continuous line, you're going to curve back up, make another curved line, stop, curve back line, curve back down, stop. So it's just one continuous curved line, one right after the other. Now I'm going to make a bunch that are parallel to these. Nice, and I can thicken it up too. So now that we have our scallop line, we can try to do a castle line. Castle lines are really fun as well. I'm going to do, let's say, what color haven't I used here? You know, I'm going to make another black and white one because it's so fun to do. Okay, a castle line is when you make a horizontal line and then a vertical line attached, almost like you're making a rectangle, but then you make a horizontal line going to the right, vertical line, horizontal line, vertical line, horizontal line, like that, where you're basically going down and up and down and up. And you can make all different sort of castle lines that fill in a space. And then when it's all filled up, let's do a dotted line. All a dotted line is when the line is just broken up with dots. So it's all these teeny tiny dots going in a row in a line. So let's get out, let me see, I'll do a green, and I'm gonna do dot, 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 dot in a line. Those are my dotted lines, and I'm just going across. Dot, 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 dot. Nice, filling up that space with dotted lines. And now that I have my dotted line, let's do dashed lines. And the dashed line, all it is instead of dots, they're little lines that there's a little space in between each ones, but they're all going in a line. So let's see, I'm going to use my red to do a dashed line here. Dashed line. Nice, filling up the space. If you have crayons and you want to fill in the white space background, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave it blank just for now. Now we have all these other small spaces, and basically you can pick any other lines that we've done already, and you can either choose to make them thin or thick, or if you just want to do one spiral line, that's fine too. So in these spaces, it's kind of your choice. So maybe I'll do one spiral line here where I start from the middle and start swirling and going outward to make a big spiral line. And here, maybe I'll make very thick diagonal lines again. Two different colors than I've already used. Maybe in here, I'll do a different color zigzag lines, this time really kind of like thicker. Going parallel. And then in these last spaces, it's kind of up to you. Maybe I'll do diagonal dashed line. Nice. And maybe one over here. Cool. All right, now that we have our line sort of filled up, what you can do is, if you have enough time, you can create even a second one. If you don't have a lot of time, what you can do, if you only want one, you can take your scissors, remember to put your thumb in the small hole, the rest of your fingers in the larger hole, have your thumb on top, line up the alligator mouth of your scissors with the outside line of the shape that we've created, and we're going to cut out along that line so that we cut out the entire sort of squiggle shape with all of our lines drawn in the inside, and we're getting rid of that blank white background space just so that we have our squiggle shape with our lines. No background white space. Okay, so cut along that outer line, getting rid of that background white space, and then once we have it fully cut out, we can put away the paper we don't need. You can get that black piece of paper out. Remember, if you don't have black piece of paper to paste it on, you can use white paper, it's fine. But what you're going to do is, instead of just pasting it down flat, what we're going to do is you are going to just kind of curl your page, make it a little wavy, okay? Maybe you want to position it, keep waving it, see how you want it to be shaped on your page. If that looks good to you, whatever is touching your black page or the background page, that's where you're going to put glue underneath and have it be positioned. So I see that I want it to come up here, so maybe I'll just fold back a little tab there. I also want it to be folded here. Let's see if there's anything else I need to fold down. Maybe that looks pretty good. Maybe one more tab just right here. Okay, so kind of curve your paper wherever it wants to naturally hit that black paper. You're going to use your glue stick. Find those tabs that you made, put a little glue on the tabs, and then again, curl your page. Looks like I had it here and here, coming up. Nice. If I see that I want it to kind of even come up there, I can put a little here. Okay. You want to hold down those tabs so that they fully glue down. And voila, you have your 3D sculpture. If you have time to do a second one, you can cut out your second one and even position it on the side of your other one. But that is up to you. Okay, well, I hope you had fun making these 3D line sculptures, and I'll see you later.